You know, I usually like them big. I know you do too, but this is starting to get ridiculous. Welcome back everybody. I'm Mike from Happy Haunting here for everything about Halloween, and today we're going to be taking a look at Lowe's Kraken. Now this box is absolutely ridiculously massive. When we unveiled the deep sea diver about a week ago, I had pointed out how big this box was. Look at it compared to this thing. I needed to have producer Tom help me get this inside. It would barely squeeze through my garage door, and I needed help lifting it up the stairs. This is huge. I know you're dying to know how big it is. Let's find out. We have 43 inches high by 28 inches wide by 27 inches. I guess it is possible to be too big. Lowe's has done it with this one. It's hard to maneuver. It's going to be difficult to store. We're going to have to find some place to stuff it in. So what have we got here in this massive package? We have a 3.5-foot lighted Kraken with tentacles. It is indoor and outdoor rated. It has 236 LED lights, 6-foot cord length, a timer with 6 hours on, 18 hours off. 5 stakes are included. So let's unbox this thing and see what's inside. All right, I think we've got the head poking out. This is ridiculous. Okay, come on. I guess it's all contained within the one piece here. That's it. The rest of the box is empty. Now that we've pulled it out, let's check it out. So this is a little bit more manageable now. It's still 3.5 feet tall, as it claims on the box, so that's good. It's about 25 inches, well, I guess tall in this direction, which is, I guess, wide. So it's still going to take up a pretty good amount of space wherever we're going to store this. But if we're not going to store it in a box, too, we're going to have this whole issue because of the shape of it. It's going to be a lot harder to stack things on and around it. So I don't know what to do with this. Let's go ahead and get this unwrapped. Now, thinking of storage, we're probably going to want to be careful and save this plastic because we're all about protection and we want to make sure we are safe keeping it stashed in that dusty, dirty storage room. We want our props to last for a long, long time. All right, inside we have what appears to be a base. Okay, all right. Oh. We have, I'm assuming these are some tentacles and they are stored inside each other. Another package nicely wrapped. Let's go ahead and pop this open. We have a couple more bases and some poles that I assume will go inside them. We also have our instruction sheet, a packet of screws, power adapter, a switch, and a number of cables that I've just made a mess of. Don't you hate that? All right, so it looks like there's quite a length. This is just one cable that is going to, I guess, we're going to plug each tentacle into one of these, and it just, there's a lot of receptacles. More tentacles. More tentacles. All right, I don't see anything else in there. Let's go ahead and pull it out. Here it is, my one-eyed monster. Literally, I don't know what happened, but he has lost one of his eyes. It looks like it's just hot glued on. So we can fix that, but I don't know. It's supposed to look something like that. I think that'll hold it for now. I might have to hot glue it a little bit more. But man, this is humongous. I'm not sure all these tentacles are going to fit on my table here, but let's go ahead and see. All right, so here's the first tentacle. As you can see, it does have a cable that comes out of the base. All right, this is actually just the tip of a tentacle. So I think we're going to have to keep unpacking. The other tip, got a little bit of a curve to it. This is one of the smaller full tentacles. I'm not really sure about the base yet. We'll come back to that. So these larger ones just nest together. I've already pulled one out. Let's go ahead and pull this one out of that one. There we go. Another one. And finally, the big one we all want to see. Wow, that is massive. So let's figure out which tentacle tip goes with this one. Okay, so they are labeled. This one's got an A, so I assume this one's got a B. This one's got a D. Also notice there's a red dot right there. I'm assuming there's a red dot on this one, and we're just going to line those red dots up. But first, we're going to connect these cables. It's a little awkward to do solo. You probably want a partner for this. I don't know what producer Tom is off doing in his own spare time, so I can do it solo. Let's go ahead and get this thing plugged in. And let's see, I think we are just going to line up the pieces, twist it, and there we have our completed tentacle aside from the base. We'll come back to that here in just a moment. Let's do the next one. And there we have it. Now I do of course recommend that you show off your tentacles outside, so you're going to want to use the provided stakes. They are nice and metal and long, and you are just going to stuff it in the bottom of the tentacle like that, and then you can pound it into the ground and it stays up nice and strong. The larger tentacles are going to require a bit more preparation before you can use them. You're going to need to take the provided base piece that comes with it, as well as the screws. You're just going to apply the base to the bottom of the tentacle, screw them in, slide in the stake, and then you're ready to pound it into the ground. If you're going to use these indoors, I mean, they're light, but they're relatively stable without the base pieces. And in fact, if you do put the base piece on, it's not going to sit flat. So it's going to be hard to transition this from indoors to outdoors if that's what you choose to do. Also, be careful of anybody just knocking these around. I mean, if you accidentally bump into it, it's going to fall down. I think we all want to watch this guy in action. Let's go ahead and take our cables and get him hooked up. I've got him plugged in. Let's see if he blows us away. Okay, I actually love this green color. So I wasn't sure if I was going to like the light up. I thought the lights might make it look a little bit cheesy, but it doesn't. This green is amazing. I think it would go especially well with my toxic themes I tend to do. I know the lighting is a little bit tricky in these videos sometimes, but the eyes are really white compared to the green in the tentacles. I'm a little disappointed in that. I kind of think I would have preferred them to be green as well, but maybe not. I mean, I guess it gives it a little bit of differentiation. I'd really have loved this if it were color changing. I might end up taking some of those string lights that we've done a lot of reviews on and stick them inside the tentacles because we can make them color changing. That might be some project for a future video. Another thing I'm noticing is that the light you can see in the seam here is pretty noticeable. And in fact, this one, if I turn it around, you can see some of the paint. Well, you probably can't see it very well. Some of the paint has like scraped off of it and you can see the green shining through. So I guess we are going to want to be extra careful when we store these that we don't scrape lots of paint off because it's just going to make it look worse and worse. But maybe it won't be so hard to touch it up. I guess we could just take a magic marker and sort of black it out and then you probably would never see it. That's probably more my style than go through all the effort of keeping it all nice and wrapped up. As I said before, it does have a timer, so if you put this outside in your yard, you can just let it turn on and off automatically every day. I love that function. I am glad that he doesn't have any cheesy sound effects, or worse, any words that he says. It's just a nice static prop. And for the price point of $200 at Lowe's, I think that's a pretty good value. I mean, when you look at what you can get for 200 bucks, it's certainly not going to be something of this scale. This is just so impressive, especially compared to this guy who is $350. I mean, they do go so well together. But, you know, the two of them combined, you're talking $550, almost $600 probably with tax for these two guys. It adds up quick, but I think it's going to look fantastic in my display this year, where we're not doing quite an undersea effect. It's going to be more of a swamp. I'm also going to incorporate a low fog sort of swamp effect, and isn't it going to look great with this guy kind of just emerging from the fog? It's all kind of still fleshing out in my mind, but you're going to have to stay tuned to see what we do with that display. I'm, of course, going to share our experiences with you as we get closer to Halloween. But in the meantime, let me know what you think of this guy and what you would do with him. If you have any tips or tricks or suggestions of how I can incorporate him into my display, I would love to hear them. Before we go, I did want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. If you're interested in joining our Fright Club, be sure to check out a link to my Patreon page in the description below. That's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Till next time, take care, and happy haunting.